Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Sam here, and today we're going to be doing another scary and creepy TikTok video to watch before going to bed. And I am here with Aaron.
Hello.
Another white person.
God damn.
Anyway, Aaron, are you excited for the horror video?
Kinda.
You
Definitely
sound a little
kinda.
bit more nervous than
Nah.
excited. Oh, okay.
Excited, yeah.
Okay, well, at least you're excited. Well, anyway, guys,
I don't know if they're gonna be bored, that's all.
Well, anyway, before I was rudely interrupted. Anyway,
My
guys,
gosh.
if you do enjoy my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of my other content, and I will put down below his YouTube channel as well, in the link down below.
I'm not uploading over it yet, so yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get into the video.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off
Yeah, it's all good.
for now.
I forgive you.
She kind of have big eyes.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. I was like looking at her, and like they're like, I don't think they should be that
Bug
big.
eyes, bro.
What type of ice cream do you reckon they're selling?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
On Halloween night, I heard a loud knock
and big
at my door.
eyelashes. They're definitely fake.
When I opened it, there was no one there, just some kids running
Probs,
away
yeah.
in a dimly lit street. Annoyed, I yelled at them and went back inside, making sure to lock the door securely.
Looks
As I
like
sat down on my couch
Arizona
to
or
watch
something.
TV, I heard eerie noises echoing from the kitchen.
Every place looks
My
the
heart
same
raced as I cautiously made
Arizona
my way
or
there.
maybe
Except I know
California?
it's
But there was no one in sight.
I know it's definitely not a
Then,
New
I
York.
heard my
though,
TV
because New
blaring a
York,
show
they've got a
had
lot
just
of, like,
paused.
huge-
Yeah, and it's cold
shiver
as over
ran down
there,
my
and
spine.
they're
Fear
like
gripped
built
me.
up kind
I
of thing,
couldn't
yeah.
find anyone in the house.
It reminds me of
I
Australia in some
desperately
ways,
wanted
but you
to
can
call
tell
the
that it's not
police.
Australia.
It kind of looks like Arizona or
Instead, I decided
California.
to take a drive around the neighborhood to calm my nerves. However, my keys
What's
were
just be
mysteriously
would
missing
be
from the
completely
room.
wrong, or would it be like New
Just
Mexico
then,
or something?
as I stood in the darkened living room, the power went out,
That'd be crazy.
plunging my home into absolute darkness. My heart raced
that's
as I
creepy.
fumbled for my phone, its dim glow providing me with a faint source of light. Terrified, I bolted out of my house and ran to my neighbor's house for help. When the lights came back on,
Bro,
I
you
glanced
never-
back at my home
Yeah,
and saw a shadowy figure upstairs, resembling a kid in a Halloween mask.
No.
My trembling hands dialed 911, and when the police arrived, they confirmed that my keys were still on the ring, the back door remained locked, and I had a clear view of the front door the entire time. It was a Halloween night I would never forget, filled with eerie mysteries that defied
I
all
would
logical
move.
explanation,
I would
leaving me
move.
with a
Like,
lingering
honestly,
sense of
I
I wouldn't even have
Just
gone
that
back that
happened to me.
night, man. I would have
Please
just
remain calm and stay
sold up that
vigilant.
day and
This is an alert
left.
message. We are currently receiving multiple reports indicating that entities resembling you may be present in your vicinity at this moment. These entities
What would you
can
do
take
if
on the
you
appearance
if
of anyone,
one of these
including
things
an
found
exact
you?
copy of yourself. At present, we have
Honestly,
limited information
I don't know,
about them.
Dude, this shit's
To
scary.
ensure your
I've got
safety,
each time
we
I've
ask
watched
you to
a
check
horror
if one of
video,
these
I've got
entities is
more
hiding
and
in
more
your
into
surroundings.
this shit.
Yeah.
And
Their eyes are
believed it
sensitive
even
to
more
light.
and more.
That's why we
Like
urge you to
skin-
turn off your
Whoa,
lights to
did you
detect
see
Yeah, I
the
saw
that?
it.
presence or
Did you
absence
see
of
that?
these life forms.
Bro, I was
If
trying
you
to
happen
roll
to
into a
spot one of
corner and
these
just
entities,
cry.
please do not attempt to make contact.
Dude, I would too,
Stay away
dude.
and turn your lights back on.
Like,
Thank you. This was a
dude,
message
I
from
believe in
Horror Story
skinwalkers.
X.
Bro,
Comment,
Skinwalkers are
subscribe,
sick.
and share this
I
video
wanna
with a
meet
friend.
one.
The second person that appears
No,
when
you
you click
don't.
share and then select WhatsApp
Apparently
is
Payne's
secretly
met one.
I
thinking
want
of
my
you.
dog to be one.
Oh, that is
Wolf, it's got a
terrifying.
knife!
Is it holding a
Yeah, let me
knife?
get your knife!
Deep within the tales of Central American folklore, El Sombreron is a man donning a black cloak, face obscured by the wide brim of his large hat, and large polished
Sombrero.
boots that create loud noises as
I've
he
got a
walks.
sombrero.
However, El Sombreron
wearing
is
one
more
right
than
now.
just a
Oof.
striking figure in dark
Damn.
attire. He enjoys riding horses,
He would be good at
intricately
climbing
braiding
walls.
their tails and
This guy.
manes. In the absence of horses, he turns to dogs, weaving their fur into delicate braids. El Sombreron is known to be fond of music,
I wish this
often
guy could
serenading
sweep me off
young
my
women
feet.
with his silver guitar under the cover of darkness. While While his music is hauntingly beautiful, it often precedes his more sinister intentions. One of the most spine-chilling aspects of this
Rapists.
legend is the fixation El Sombriron has with braiding. He has an uncanny attraction to young women with long hair. Legend has it that when a
Shit, I
young
guess.
maiden catches the attention of El Sombriron, she might wake up to find her hair meticulously braided. This is no ordinary braid, but a supernatural mark, a curse. From this point, the young woman would start experiencing a series of inexplicable events. El Sombriron will put soil on her plate, rendering the victim unable to eat and sleep. As a result, her health and vitality would seem to drain away, plunging her into unending exhaustion.
Breaking news, are clowns back? This post right here says clown sightings are back and
I
spotted in
remember
Ohio.
this was
That really doesn't
happening.
surprise me, not really much going on there. I'm really surprised it wasn't in my home state of Florida, but a news source actually reported on this. I believe this is the news in Washington State. I'm gonna play the clip for you guys right now.
Washington say they're being run ragged, checking on reports of menacing-looking clowns. The nationwide trend, prank really, has police being pulled away from keeping the community safe. New at 11 cameras, 7 Henry Ross office lying along the Green Lake jogging path where a clown was spotted last night. Henry, that's just one of several sightings in our area.
So here's one of the pictures of the clowns that were spotted. He looks like a silly little guy just having a balloon.
Terrifying.
If I saw this in the park though, I'd definitely turn the other way. If you look more close up, he definitely has a creepy face on, and it looks like there's blood on his clown costume. I personally think this is the creepiest image. Like, do not look
Looks
at me
like
like
he's
that.
playing from the
Head
balls.
tilted, staring at us menacingly. So I guess with it being October, we'll see if the clowns are really back. These sightings, from what I've noticed over the years, have been scattered randomly and very sparse since 2016. It's not really a nationwide thing like it was in 2016, but who knows? We'll see. Maybe this is the year it changes. Also, quick look at my bio. I have merch. So let me know what you guys think about this video, and let me know what you want to see next in the
Nope.
comment section below.
Japanese yokai. Osan
Imagine seeing
Kitsune.
that on Hell.
Yeah.
Osan Kitsune is well known for shape-shifting and playing pranks on humans. Women who interfere with people's relationships are
Very.
sometimes called Megitsune, woman.
Ew.
This word
I'm
is
gonna
said
be
to have
honest, I
originated
just realized
from
how long
Osan
this video
Kitsune.
is going.
How long?
Kitsune is an extremely stylish individual with a
47
vindictive
minutes.
personality.
Damn,
She causes
bummer.
lovers to quarrel and break up. She also seduces men
didn't
into
realize I didn't
betraying
look
their
again.
wives and girlfriends. Men who are young and old would fall for her and
That's
visit
alright.
her again and again. Some even saw through her disguise, yet they still carried on with the betrayal. Wow, bestiality. Okay, bye.
They were driving down a haunted road when something
he
straight
just
out of a
say
horror movie
bestiality?
runs at them. A truck driver
I
by the
don't
name of
know.
Michael was driving down a road that many of the residents believed to be haunted. Due to high amounts of car crashes and people seeing things in the pitch dark road, many people avoid this road at all costs. But one night, as Indy was left with no other route back home, they put on some music to calm the mood, unknowing something had been watching them all along.
Yeah, the music, bro.
Dude, it kind of just makes you vibe to it though. Yo, did you see that person?
Hey, going back like 10 seconds.
Straight
It
out
just
of a
shows you it
Jeepers
again.
Creepers film, a pale figure
me a
can be
second, my mom's
seen
calling.
running towards the road, then hides. Just what exactly
Hi.
was that running towards their truck? If you see this,
I'm
move
good.
out immediately. A mother by the name Masha was being recorded by her daughter while she cleaned the living room, when suddenly, as the daughter moves the camera over to the right, this happens.
Siéntate, Luan. Ahorita quiero que me ayudes a recortar tu cobija, que la dejaste ahí tirada. Y ya en la otra casa ya vamos a comer. Ahorita que lleguemos allá ya vamos a comer.
My mom was calling me about dinner.
The camera captures a tall, dark shadow
fuck?
figure watching them. But as she looks again, it's not there. After this, the
That's
family moved out of the
crazy.
house for some time, since they have been experiencing demonic activity, such as the smell of sulfur and insects popping up throughout their home.
All right, so the tweet says pick
Shit, you
four,
should
forget the
move.
rest. Man, we got a bunch of classics on here. We got Exorcist, Texas
Y'all
Chainsaw Massacre,
was
Jaws, Halloween,
Friday
Friday
13th,
Friday
dog.
13th, Alien, Nightmare on Elm Street, Child's Play, Scream, and Saw. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know
I like
right now that
Jaws,
Saw
honestly.
eliminated. Just go ahead and take Saw off. Love the movie, fantastic, but compared to these classics, it gotta go. Now, off the bat, Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely staying. One of my favorite 80s slasher movies, if not my favorite one of all time. It's staying. It ain't going nowhere. Next, you know I gotta take The Thing. I gotta take The Thing. It'll be criminal for you to not pick The Thing on this list,
Wait,
bro. But
pause for a
next,
minute.
I gotta
Then
go with
we'll
The
choose
Exorcist
Alpha.
because
Okay.
Okay. Think about The Exorcist. My dad watched it and he said that was shit. So, yeah. Bro, they got the original Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, that was a nasty ass
I
movie.
think if I had to pick two videos off the top, honestly, even though Jaws wasn't that scary, I do like the movie.
Yeah,
Jaws,
yeah.
So I think I would have to go with Jaws, Friday the 13th, and then all the other. I think I'd watched Halloween. I think.
Halloween's with Michael Myers. So yes, we have.
Yeah. But I don't have another one out of that. I've watched the newer Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I like.
I'll show you the older one. It's on. It's actually on Netflix now.
Well,
I
we'll
think,
have
or
to
it's on
watch it.
Stan. One of the two, I can't remember.
We'll have to do a movie night or
Yeah,
something and watch
yeah.
it. So I'll do a movie night on my Discord server, which you guys should make sure and join.
Yeah. So I made my girlfriend watch the original Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
There's some parts in it where it's like really bad, so I'd covered her eyes for it, even though she doesn't get scared of scary movies really. So like I guess
Yeah.
my fault would just straight up be Chainsaw Massacre, Friday 13th. I guess Friday 13th because I jumped to both in that. Like even though it wasn't really that scary, I kind of jumped in it. Scream, same as that. Like it's not really scary. It's just a classic. You know, just one of those
I
movies.
didn't really watch Scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Child's Play's with Chucky, ain't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is. It's with Chucky and Annabelle, I think, isn't it?
Annabelle's kind of similar to Chucky, not really. Oh, that is a lot of good movies. Is that Alien too? Oh, no, Alien's.
I haven't watched Alien.
It's not really scary. It's more kind of
Yeah.
like to me, it's the kind of yuck. It's like this alien thing plants alien eggs in people, and then and then they like burst out their stomach, like these little aliens, and it's just like gross kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So probably Nightmare on Elm Street as well. Yeah. Did I say 4 or 3?
You said 4.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're ready to continue?
Yeah.
it's just too impactful. It's too legendary. I can't do it. I can't do this list and not pick The Exorcist. The Exorcist has to stay. But the fourth and final movie that I gotta save on this list is really where I'm gonna get my goddamn ass kicked because y'all are not gonna like any answer I pick. So because I'm already anticipating the hate, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Scream. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, peep the diversity of my options. We got a supernatural slasher, an alien movie, a demonic possession movie, and a modern slasher. Sounds like a pretty good mix to me. But like I said, y'all gonna be mad at either one that I pick. There's honestly no win in this game. So if you want to, there's a list, screenshot if you need be, and you let me know which 4 of these movies you gonna save.
Let's talk about Hisashi Ouchi. In a nuclear accident, he received one of the highest doses of radiation in human history. Workers were purifying uranium oxide to make fuel rods. However, many of them had little experience, so they put too much into the mixture. A flash of blue light happened before disaster. What happened next is called a criticality accident. A nuclear chain reaction released a ton of radiation. And unfortunately in this story, Hisashi Ouchi was the closest to the nuclear radiation. So he received the highest dose. All of these workers were rushed to the Tokyo hospital. Soon, Hisashi Ouchi's condition deteriorated rapidly. When medical tape was removed off his chest, his skin would start to fall off. They took bone marrow samples and couldn't find any proper cells in his body or chromosomes.
He was unable to make new cells to even begin with now. His heart stopped multiple times, but doctors were able to revive him. Blood samples showed he had no white blood cells left. His immune system was essentially gone. His body was turning into literal goo. At the end, he passed from multiple organ failure. This was an 83-day-long process. Let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments section below.
This video is going so much viral on the internet recently. In this video, you can see the goat is walking like a human and the chicken is following the goat in this farm. Some people think this goat is possessed by a demon. Some think it's a skinwalker. No one have a proper answer.
Watch out for the Smiling Man if you're out at night. Let's talk about a terrifying free indie horror game based on a short film. The Smiling Man. Full playthrough right here. If you haven't seen the short horror film that this game is based on, you should absolutely go watch it before checking this game out. The Smiling Man is all about a lonely walk in the middle of the night. You're heading home after a 2 a.m. walk when you see a man that looks like this. His movements are erratic and almost inhuman, and all he does is smile and look up at the sky. There are actually 2 versions of this game included in the one download, and both of them are honestly terrifying, and we play both of them. I always thought the scary ending of the short film was done really well, and the game is no exception.
Alright guys, it's officially October. And this month I'm going to be sharing some movies that have scared the shit out of me. But keep in mind that these are my own personal opinions and horror is subjective. So what scares me may not scare you and vice versa. With that being said, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the 2015 found footage.
This guy's a big fan of LGBT.
Because this is a genuinely fucking creepy ass found footage horror movie.
Because the way man's like, my opinions don't necessarily mean towards you or anything. You know? It's like, yes, obviously, buddy. We realize that.
What starts off
you know, that's kind of like something LGBTQ people say.
Will quickly start to suspect that this place
I probably should
be haunted. And this is all leading up
that's one way to get you cancelled.
Halloween, which turns into bloody chaos. So why is this movie scary? For me, personally, they do a lot of subtle things in this movie with like a flickering light in the back or a shadow moving, a lot of noises, but also there's another reason. And it's this fucking clown prop. Because this clown prop ends up in different places in the maze or the hotel, and everyone's like, no,
Pacifier.
No, I didn't move it. Like, this shit is...
That's like from Pacifier.
Like, first of all, you would never find me in an abandoned anything to begin with. But also, I would be like, hell fucking no with this, like, clown prop, like, moving around by itself. Like, that just, like, I would leave. But yes, this movie genuinely fucking creepy.
I like how honest this guy is.
It is one of the scariest found footage movies out there, in my personal opinion.
The first
Hell
white
House
person
LLC
to
also
ever
spawned
actually
2
be spun
sequels,
and
and
live.
they are currently coming out with a new entry into the franchise called Hell House LLC Origins: The Carmichael Manor, which should be coming out on October 30th on Shudder. If you would like to check out the first one, here's the list.
Man's went there. For reals.
Next up, let's talk about John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. This movie stars Sam Neill, who plays a private investigator who has been hired by a book publication in order to find their acclaimed horror author, Sutter Kane. Sam Neill kind of pieces together where Sutter Kane may be hiding, and he believes in a fictional town.
Pardon
so
me.
he and a woman from the publishing company go on this journey to find this fictional town, but they are gobsmacked when they actually find that this town exists. As they're exploring the town, they start to realize that some of the places and even people that they're meeting in this town are directly from Sutter Kane's horror novels. So why is this one scary? Mainly because the main character, played by Sam Neill, starts to lose his fucking mind. Like, this whole movie is just a total fucking mindfuck. The lines between reality and fantasy begin to blur, and that to me is just absolutely terrifying. But then there's also this scene with this like tentacle woman in the greenhouse that kind of freaked me out. But the one scene that truly freaked me out
got more of a
is
Venom,
this scene. Like,
Venom sort of voice.
You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because this scene, bitch, made me fucking clutch my pearls twice. Once because I wasn't expecting it, and the second time because then once my brain processed what the fuck I was looking at,
he's there talking about his balls.
I would definitely classify In the Mouth of Madness as a cosmic horror movie. So if you're a fan of this subgenre like I am and just genuinely love Lovecraftian horror films, then I would highly recommend checking this one out. And if you would like to check this one out, here's the list of where this one is currently streaming. Next, let's talk about the movie The Strangers. I know that this one is pretty popular and this one has probably been done to death, but the whole scenario in this movie is just absolutely frightening. If you've never seen this movie, it's about a couple who are spending the night in a house in the middle of nowhere when someone in the middle of the night starts to knock on their door asking for Tamarin. And they're like, there's no one here by that name. But then they keep returning to the house and knocking the door and banging on the windows. But what truly fucking frightens me about this movie is while all that shit's happening outside, it's this fucking scene. Because they're already inside the house, which signifies to me that they're just fucking with them. So once what was a quiet night will quickly turn into a fight for survival. This to me personally is the quintessential home invasion horror movie. I know some people might argue with me and say maybe it's like Funny Games, but no, it's The fucking Strangers. Also because like this could happen and has happened, and I believe this movie is loosely based on a true story. So yes, to me personally, this is absolutely fucking terrifying. And if you would like to check this one out, here's the list of where this one is currently streaming. I will definitely be recommending more horror movies that have scared the shit out of me throughout the month of October. But for these 3 movies that I just recommended, I would love to hear what your thoughts are if you've seen them in the comments.
This girl got so angry that she decapitated her own mother. You're not gonna want to miss this case, it's insane. Hi, I'm Meg, I talk about true crime. Let's get into it.
I was so heated up with anger, I just kept stabbing and stabbing and stabbing her, and I took off her head.
This all takes place in Australia in 2019. Rita Calamari was a woman who loved her kids with her whole heart. She was described as having a heart of gold.
That's not a good idea, buddy.
Difficulties in life was handling her daughter Jessica. Jessica was developmentally delayed. She was diagnosed with autism and a disorder that was called innate explosive rage disorder, which led Jessica.
Well, you can tell by that ugly old face why she had anger issues.
Rita had other kids, but they had all moved out at this point, and she was actually divorced from her husband. So in the home, it was just her and Jessica. Rita was really determined to help Jessica.
When we can't do their jobs.
Just help her live a good life. I forgot to mention, Rita was 57 and her daughter Jessica was 25 in 2019 when this story happens. Jessica was known to fixate on things intensely. One of Jessica's main fixations were horror movies. She loved them. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of
autistic
these
trait.
films that she really loved, and she apparently would just watch the
That's an
gory
autistic
scenes on
trait.
repeat. She wouldn't watch them
being
though,
fixated on
with a
stuff.
feeling of disgust. She seemed to watch them with a feeling of fascination. Another huge fixation that Jessica had was numbers. She would fixate on a certain set of numbers and jumble them around to create phone numbers. She would call these numbers over and over and over again. And when the person on the other end of the phone would get like annoyed or talk back to her, she would threaten to cut their heads off. She was said to say really disturbing things to these strangers she had randomly called.
He did that,
Rita tried
right?
to get Jessica psychiatric
So
help
nuts on her.
many occasions. Jessica had been on different medications. She had even spent time in a psychiatric unit, but nothing ever seemed to help her. In 2019, Jessica had returned home after spending time in a psychiatric facility, and she started completely refusing to take any medication, and she continued harassing people over the phone as she was doing before. She was acting out, but this time she had taken it to a whole new level. But Rita, despite this, kept trying with Jessica. On the 20th of
an
July,
illegal thing. You can't
2019,
harass.
Rita was not only looking after Jessica, but also her grandson.
That's
He was
illegal.
only
You can't
4
harass
years old.
people.
One thing about Jessica is she really did not like when her
Calling
mother
people
paid
and harassing
attention
them.
to
She,
anybody
the woman
else.
just said it,
On
man.
this day, she had several loud outbursts towards this
This
4-year-old
woman's got a big ass
boy,
nose, though.
but her level of rage on this particular day was worse than
Yeah,
you've
this big
definitely
ass
ever seen.
button nose.
Rita tried calling
Button
Jessica's
nose.
doctor, but Jessica full-on refused to see him. Eventually, Rita just threatened Jessica, saying, "Fine, like, if you won't talk to your doctor, I will call an ambulance to come and get you." As Rita went to pick up the home phone, Jessica grabbed it out of her hand, so Rita was like, fine, and went to get her cell phone. But like I said, Jessica had reached a level of rage she had never experienced before. So she went after her mother, grabbed her by the hair, and dragged her into the kitchen. She then grabbed a knife
Fair
and
enough.
started stabbing her mother multiple times. She did it with such intensity that she broke some of the knives. And so she would grab a new one and just keep going. Jessica stabbed Rita over 100 times. Now, this is already quite gory as it is, but huge trigger warning, it gets so much worse. I'm trying to describe this in a way that won't get this video taken down, but she removed her mother's head, and her tongue, and her eyes, and parts of her nose. And to make it even, like, more heartbreaking, that 4-year-old boy then walks in and sees this, and that poor boy put himself between Rita and Jessica. Which is so, like, unbelievably brave for, like, a 4-year-old to do. I don't know what I would have done at that age, probably just run away. But Jessica then slashed him in the face, and he ran away. Jessica then took Rita's head and brought it outside. And then she went to the neighbor's house to call the police, and this is the strangest phone call I have ever heard. I'll let you listen.
From police emergency, we just received a call from this number.
Yes, I need you to get the ambulance and the police out here immediately. Things been going for months anyway. She had enough of me. She grabbed me by the hair and dragged me from my room all the way to the kitchen, and she got a knife and she tried to stab me with it, and I grabbed the knife off her because I thought she was going to stab me, so I stabbed her back. And I was so heated up with anger, I just kept stabbing her, and I took off her head.
Yeah. So that's the phone call. So she claims that her mother was the one attacking her, but the crime scene says otherwise. And the thing that makes this whole thing very strange is that in the phone call, she's basically saying that she's not really sure if her mom's alive or not, when, like, it's pretty obvious that she's not alive. I think that Jessica, she was very, very unwell, and that's what, like, caused this, obviously. Like, mentally, she was not okay, because I'm sorry, but there was no question on whether or not Rita was alive after this incident. Like, you heard me describe what she did to her. Despite all that, Jessica claimed that it was self-defense, and she also asked them if a doctor could reattach her mother's head. Just that comment in itself shows that she was clearly very unwell. Jessica was charged with manslaughter and given 21 years in prison. And I was a bit confused when I heard that as well, but she was given manslaughter because she was not mentally sound when she committed this murder. And something that's really bothered me about this whole case is that Jessica's in prison right now. She's not in a mental institution. And, like, yes, what she did was horrific and it's ruined a lot of people's lives, but she should be in a mental facility, not in a prison, in my personal opinion. The police on the case said that this was one of the most horrific crime scenes they had ever seen. If you're wondering about the boy, the 4-year-old boy who was there, he was taken to a hospital and he was as okay as he could have been considering the situation. He was slashed in the face, but he did survive. Like I said, Jessica was given 21 years in prison. I guess we'll see what happens after those 21 years, but hopefully she's not just released. Hopefully she gets a lot of help. I don't know about you, but 21 years does not feel like enough time, especially because she's not in a mental institution. That's just, like, really concerning. I hope they don't just, like, let her out after 21 years. I can't imagine how Jessica's siblings are feeling. Like, she killed their mother and harmed their son/nephew. This case is just absolutely insane. I would love to hear what you guys think about it, because I have no words. None. I've done a very October look today, haven't I? With the earrings. Sorry for missing a week. I have had a lot going on. I have done this case before, but TikTok removed it, like, soon after I posted it, so I don't know how many of you actually saw it. It is quite a unique one, to say the least, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. And let me know what case you want me to do next. See you in the next one. Bye!
Here are the
Here are the top 10 scariest movies according to science. Coming in first, surprisingly, is The Conjuring 2, with an average heart rate of 64 and a high.
That's based on a true story.
Paranormal Activity, which I'm not surprised about. This movie is terrifying. With
Is
this the new Conjuring?
the new one's like Conjuring 5 or
I'm
something?
kind of surprised about because I didn't think this movie was that scary. With again, an average of 64 beats per minute and a height of 80. So I guess these two are tied. You then have It Follows, which literally will give you anxiety the whole time watching this movie because you don't know what's going to happen. With again, an average beats per minute of 64 and a high of 81. You then have a little bit of a curveball here. You have Terrified, an average beats per minute of 64 and a high of 82. Going to the fifth spot, you have Hereditary. Now, I told you guys this movie was scary. Everybody said it wasn't, but clearly people think it's scary. With an average beats per minute of 64 and again a high of 82. You then in the fourth spot have The Conjuring, one of my favorite movies. An average beats per minute of 64 and a high of 84. Guarantee you was the clapping scene that got people, because it sure as hell got me. You then have Insidious, not The Red Door, just Insidious, the first one. The one that's actually scary, the one that started it all. With an average of 64 and a high of 85. Meaning that people thought this movie was actually pretty scary. Some people don't. I didn't think it was that scary, but I thought it was good. You then have Sinister. An average beats per minute of 64 and a high of 86. It means people thought this movie was absolutely terrifying. I didn't. I thought it was really good, though. And then finally, you have The Host. More or less unfriended. Just, I guess, a little bit scarier according to people and science. With an average beats per minute of 64 and a high of 88. Make sure to like and follow for more.
She was trying to get the door open before it was too late. A disturbing video was posted onto social media, explaining that a family's doorbell camera captured their daughter arriving home late one night in a hurry due to being followed by two men. As she quickly opens the door, two strangers can be seen trying to get inside. You can see the man holding what looks like a black bag that could be chlorophyll in an attempt to abduct the girl. What? Could these two guys be at the wrong house, or is it a close call?
So I just got back from seeing The Exorcist Believer, and yeah, it was horrible. Genuinely horrible. Like, don't get me wrong, the first half was pretty good. The storyline, the build-up, the idea was great. They really had me when they were two possessed girls. Like, when the trailer came out, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be awesome. And then you watch the other half of the movie that just completely derails the whole thing. They sped up to the whole exorcism part way too fast. Bringing back the original mother would have been cool if she was a part of the movie. She was in like 4 scenes. On top of the fact that the acting of the girls was good, but it just, I don't know, there was something about it. On top of the fact that I just feel like they had to go to a darker place. You know, horror movies nowadays are a little bit soft. I feel like if they went to that place, you know what I'm talking about, that place. They went to that place, this would have been an absolute banger. But instead, they played the soft route and just opened it up to have more parts instead of just making a fantastic movie on its own. I truly didn't like it. I really think the Rotten Tomatoes score should be lower. Like I said, this movie had a ton of potential. A ton. 2 girls possessed, they're speaking in different tongues, different exorcisms, all different everything. It just feels like they sped the movie like I was watching ×2 speed. We only focused on one family. There's 2 girls possessed, but we're only focusing on one family. Weird. And the connection between the father and daughter, which is fine, but what about the other girl? And like I said, on top of the fact that they brought the mother back for absolutely no reason. Chick was in 4 scenes. It was a waste. Maybe they thought bringing her back would have made the movie better. It probably would have if she was in the movie. Like I said, just all in all, disappointed. But what do you expect from movies about exorcisms? They haven't been good in a very long time. Like and follow for more.
You probably didn't know about the burnt man who haunts the Ojai Valley for decades.
Ooh.
It all began with a devastating fire that tore through Ojai in the late 1940s. Amidst the ashes and charred remains, firefighters stumbled upon a grisly scene. A father and son, severely burned from the blaze, lay beside each other. The son, driven mad from pain and grief, had flayed the skin of his deceased father. When approached, he fled into the woods, never to be seen again. Over the years, numerous travelers and locals alike have reported encounters with the Charman. They describe a man, skin-charred and hanging in tatters, emerging from the woods, usually near the site of the original fire. To this day, the bridge near Camp Comfort County Park in Ojai is considered Charman Bridge. Some even claim to have heard his agonizing screams echoing in the night.
If you hear this while out in the woods, don't go near it. An urban explorer from the YouTube channel, These Dark Adventures, posted a disturbing video sent to her by one
How
of
much
her
longer does
neighbors.
this have?
In the video, a sheriff is called in to inspect an area of the woods after many complaints from the locals of a man that had been screaming for over an hour. As the officer gets close to what sounds like the voice of a man, a pale figure can be seen sitting down, watching him. And as it stands up, he quickly gets out of there.
Okay, well guys, we're gonna end it here. If you do enjoy my content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Salutations.